going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a good evening here. Hope you're having a decent January. Well, if you didn't, it's almost over anyway. It seems like this month's lasted about 7 weeks. I'm ready to have some fun tonight. I've got a couple of guests that I'm excited to have join us for the stream tonight. We've got our good friend Marty from Whiskey Knows, who has really been such an ally to the channel here, and he's really helped us out with the streams and putting content together. So I'm happy to have him as always. And then we've also got Scott from My Bourbon Journey, one of the, I think he's one of the OG whiskey tubers. Puts out some of the best reviews out there, and is just one of the classiest guys in the whiskey tube community. So I'm glad that he agreed to come on and join us for tonight's live stream. So a couple of things. First, with the two guys, we're going to play a game. And I was putting this together, and I was trying to think of a real clever name for it. But that just it didn't really happen. So I'm calling it Jerk Game, at least for now. And if somebody has a clever tie-in to the bourbon jerk theme that they want to suggest for the name of the game, I'm all ears. I'm open to suggestions. So what we're going to do, and I haven't even told the guys how this is going to work yet, so this should be fun. But they each have a blind flight. 4 samples, and they're different. They're not the same flight. So they're each going to be drinking through 4 different whiskeys that aren't the same as what the other one is drinking. The tie-in is that at the end, after they've sipped through them and they've taken their notes, I've got 10 questions for each of them, and they're the same questions. And there's a key for Scott, and there's a key for Marty. And they're going to have a score, and that score is going to be somewhere between 1 and 10. And I don't know if a good score is going to be 2 or if a good score is going to be 9. I guess we'll kind of see what happens here. So it should be interesting. I think it should be fun. If for nobody else, it'll be entertaining to me. So hopefully it's entertaining for you guys as well. Also, we've got some giveaways. First giveaway, the first prize is going to be a bottle of the Dragon's Milk Origin small batch. I don't know how available that is outside of Michigan. I know that they've got some decent distribution, but it's a good bottle. It's one of the best, I think, off-the-shelf bourbons here in Michigan that's made here. So if you haven't tried it, give it a shot. Second prize, I'm going to do a flight that will pick from the 2 flights that the guys are doing. So there's a total of 8. We'll put them together and let you pick 4 or 5 of them or something. And the third prize is going to be a Bourbon Jerk Glen that was put together by our good friend Top Dog. So I see a few of you joining here. Let's say hi to some folks. I see my buddy Carlos. And Carlos, when I pour something tonight, I'm going to be pouring it in my brand new Whiskey Corner Kenzie. Can't wait to bring that in. Who else we got? We've got Roger Reese. What's going on, buddy? How are you? We have Whiskey Blender Fraley. How you doing, Nancy? Good evening. Gary Franchi, please do not use jerk off. Yeah, that one did come to mind, but it didn't go with that. Whiskey Corner Jerk Olympics. Okay, it's a little better. Mash and Drum is in the house. What's going on, Jason? We also have, who else? I see here, if I didn't miss, or if I didn't get everybody, I'll say hi to some more folks as we get going here. But let's bring on our guests. First, we've got...
What's happening?
Mr. Whiskey Knows.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Man, doing is right. I'm ready.
Always a pleasure to have you on, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the invite. Thanks for the sample.
And My Bourbon Journey, Mr. Scott, the Hawk.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Appreciate you agreeing to be on here tonight, Scott.
Absolutely. Looking forward to this. The blinds are always fun. I'll try to keep this from turning into any kind of a solidarity moment. So we'll try to keep this thing on the straight and narrow tonight.
Yeah,
So.
this should be interesting. And
Yeah.
Since you're not drinking the same flight, I mean, you can kind of go at your own pace here. But what I would suggest is that as you're going through your samples, that you take some notes. And, you're going to want to keep track of, what do I think the proof is approximately? What do I think as far as, is this a bourbon or a malt, American single malt or a rye or something else? Do I think it's finished? Do I have a guess on the age? Is this a Kentucky product, maybe a Indiana or something else? And maybe what you think as far as, is this, a $60 whiskey? Is this $100 whiskey? Is this something higher? Just kind of those kind of concepts. And then, once you guys have had a chance to kind of go through these, we'll start running off questions. I'll keep score and we'll see how this works out. And my idea here is you guys are, obviously you're both competing against each other, but I think if I can keep the format the same and have this kind of run on a regular basis, we can kind of have like a running leaderboard. So that might be fun. And then maybe as we get towards the end of the year, maybe do prizes and stuff like that for whoever ends up on top. So again, I don't know if a good score is going to be 3. I don't know if a good score is going to be 9. We'll kind of see how this works. You guys are the guinea pigs.
All right. Well, I'm cool with that.
And
like test dummies.
While you guys are, sipping through your samples, I just got a couple of bottles delivered today, and one of them is the Mash and Journey Pursuit United Double Oaked Rye, which I'm excited to try. I've never tried one of these, so I'm going to sip that. And then I also got brand new from Barrel, their Foundation Double Barrel, which is a double oaked version of the Foundation product that they put together last year, which is their 100 proof, like entry level bottle, I suppose you could call it. The one that comes in at about $55, I think, is the price point. Really like that one, so I'm interested to see how they put together a double oak variant, if it's better. Yeah. So let's see. All right, so yeah, like I said, there's not in order, and in fact, the samples aren't numbered 1 through 4, or they're not lettered A through D. They just have goofy symbols. And if you guys may have noticed, if you watch Squid Game, that's kind of where my head was at when I was putting this together. So the samples are the square, the circle, the X, and the O, which I suppose are also the buttons for your PlayStation controllers.
Okay.
So we can do, it doesn't matter what order we drink these in or anything?
It really doesn't. Again, I just suggest that you maybe take some notes as you're sipping through these. If there's any, tasting notes you want to give or reactions, this is horrible. Oh my God, what are you doing to me? Or this is the best.
Marty, let's keep this as a silent blind. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that'll be really entertaining for everybody.
Yeah, this will make it for a fun live stream. We'll just keep our mouths shut.
Let's see what's going on, Travis. How you doing? Tom Morrow is here. Hey, Tom. You know what I noticed is that Bourbon Outfitters is now carrying the Limestone Farm. So if I wanted to get something shipped to Michigan, I can actually get it shipped through their site. So that's cool.
All right.
Yeah, and so like you said, I know that there was some issues with some of the bottles that went out as part of this release. So I was happy to see that it was the double oak rye.
Yeah.
I don't got to send anything back.
At least you have the right bottle. So you're like one of few. So.
Oh.
All right. So let's see what I got here.
Where I'm up on that one. So Marty, how are you feeling today? I know that you were on the late live stream last night, or the after party.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I just drank. I only had like 5 pours all day. So
it's not so much the pours as I was watching to see what happened with the Blendageddon results.
Yeah.
But man, I struggle to stay up past like 11:15, 11:30. I mean, I'm fighting the Sandman at that point.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I'm one of these. I'm a morning guy. I'm up around 5 o'clock.
Yep.
And I'm just after a day at work, come home, eat dinner, do whatever, and if I can make it past 10:30, great. If not, I'm asleep.
That's why I always told Jason, I'm like, his live streams are not conducive to an old guy who likes to get up early. That's for sure.
No, he's a night owl. He's got to be.
He is. He's a peach in the morning, I'm telling you. He's on here. He knows he knows all about that.
Did you say he's a peach in the morning?
Yeah, he's a real peach. I know you heard me. His ears are probably ringing right now.
Hey Tom.
Well, yeah, that's awesome, Tom, because I think that was the knock on the site is I think we were like the only state that we couldn't get the limestone farms shipped to. What's going on, Sugar Kitty?
Oh boy, that's kind of coming across as like a sweet rye almost. My
so it's mine.
my triangle.
They have the same thing.
He might have told us they're different. They're probably the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So, well,
So
that's
like
probably.
I think that's the power of suggestion because they're vastly different between the two of you play.
Man.
So which one did you start with, Scott?
Oh, it's totally a rye. I have triangle.
All right. How about you, Marty? Where did you start?
I'm on the circle. Hey,
Gotcha.
Tiffany.
Man, that's like a minty, like a
I don't have a
minty
control
chocolate
or
rye.
nothing. That's all right.
Cheers, dear.
Boy, proof wise, nice spice. Doesn't
I like
feel
to
high
crush
proof.
water bottles in my ear at 6 a.m. Mr. Rise and Shine.
Oh yeah. Can I tell the quick story to this real quick? I gotta give you some context to this. So it was dark, nobody could see anything. I was trying to get up early to go down to the gym or whatever it was, and I needed some water. And unfortunately, we drank through like one of those whole things of water with all the like cellophane wrapped in it, right? Well, the only one that I could find, it was pitch dark in there. I couldn't see anything. I'm trying to get a bottle of water out of this fresh pack, and those things are like shrink wrapped. So I'm trying to be as quiet as I can, but it clearly wasn't working. And then he freaked out. I'm like, it wasn't 6 a.m. Mr. Rise and Shine.
It was 5.
It wasn't 5 a.m. It wasn't 5 a.m. either. It was probably 7 a.m. Which still is like anything before 10 a.m. is early for him. Man, that's totally a rye. That's minty. It's almost kind of coming across as one of the junkies ryes a little bit. Doesn't feel like super
You're
proofy.
putting thoughts in my damn head now, but I don't think that's
Sorry.
what this
It's the thing. Like I might blurt out a bunch of things. Just don't listen. So
I got to tell you
it's
what,
fine.
the first sip of this Pursuit United Double Oak Rye, I really like. It's like a chocolate covered. I would say a chocolate covered Thin Mint, but aren't Thin Mints chocolate covered anyway?
Yeah,
sure. Man, that's pretty. That's a nice rye right there.
Yeah, I like this one too.
It's coming across as if it's not a rye, like I'll be absolutely surprised. It's totally, but I'm trying to figure out proof. It doesn't feel overly proofy. The spice is there on it, but I don't want to try to confuse that for proof. So
yeah, those can be a little confusing on some of those higher proof rye.
Maybe 107. It doesn't feel very.
Damn, this one's dark as I'll get out too.
Cheers, Danny. Tom loves some Junkies rye. I do, man. Everything they put out, pretty much, I'm a fan of to this point.
It's got a little bit of funkiness to it as well, which is kind of interesting.
Oh God,
Are you on to another one already, Marty?
I'm just trying to get a feel real quick.
Oh, you're
'Cause I
going
can
through
do proof better that way. That triangle one's pretty solid. Woo.
All right, so what am I on to now? I'm on to a square, kind of. And then obviously we can go back and revisit them and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Scott, this one was when you guys picked this when you were down or headed home after the Bardstown Blitz?
Yeah, so actually Jason and his mom and Kim were there before we were coming into town. They were already there, so we couldn't get there on time, but they were able to go through a few of those at where Pursuit United is. And then they brought samples, and I don't know if it was that night or the night after, whatever. Might have been that same night.
Just Saturday night.
Okay, it was. We started kind of going through all of those, and that's ultimately when we made the decision on this one. And originally, that was not the one that was standing out, but the more we kind of sipped on it, and it kind of opened up, the more that one really began to kind of stand out as the most unique one. So.
Yeah, this is really good. And you know what? The only other Pursuit United product I've had is the double oaked bourbon.
Oh,
and I really like that one as well. And as far as like the double oaked stuff goes, it can get a little bit like, dense, thick. These aren't quite as like, well, what's the word I'm looking for? They aren't like as condensed. They're nice, easier drinkers, I think. And it could be that that 107, 108 proof is like really perfect for a sipper instead of something you're just going to have 1 ounce of and move on to something else. I don't know. This is really good.
Good. I'm glad you like it. Man, this one with the square, this sure feels like it's got some kind of finish on it, but it's very like I when I say light, it feels like light whiskey-ish because it feels like it has that like those like floral, like kind of soft fruity notes to it, which can sometimes come across as a like a finish to me at times. Interesting.
So Roger, you've got this one too. You say it's very minty. I don't get a lot of mint, and it's almost the mint that I do get. It's like a creamy mint, if that makes sense. I don't love like the bold mint notes that I get in some ryes, and this does have a little mint flavor, but not that note that I tend to disagree with.
This square one feels like a some kind of like a stout finish or some malty. There's like a maltiness or something to that.
Well, I got the results back for that X-ray, and it makes absolutely no sense because I'm not a doctor. But I don't think it's bad.
I don't think.
Do you know how to read an X-ray?
I don't. No, I just got the notes. I don't have the X-ray. Surgical clips in the neck bilaterally. The imaged lung appears clear.
As you can no longer drink whiskey. It's only vodka from here on out.
Your days of alcohol consumption are now. All right. Well, great. So now I'm back to where I started.
Boy, that does have some malty. There is definitely like a malt ball.
There's some malt on this one. I swear to God, there is. I'm thinking this might be one of
Marty, haven't you learned? Don't listen to a word I say. Don't listen to anything I say.
It is all day.
Yeah, Dave. I think you sent me a sample of that one.
This one's fantastic.
And that Murray Hill Special Release 4, that was really a killer bourbon from last year. Definitely one of the better bottles.
All right. And you want us to kind of like try to pick like an age and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just make some notes as far, do you think it's older, younger, I'm not going to ask you, is it, guess a year. You'll see how the questions go. They're a little bit more general.
Okay, so you're going to ask your questions, and we're going to try to fall into an answer. I got you. Instead of it being exact.
I feel like this is a deposition. Like I've been in those before. Like you get asked the same question multiple times, and they're trying to trick your ass, Marty. I already see what's going on here, so I already know what's going on here.
I'll put it to you this way: when I ask you the questions, there's a right answer, and there's no room for interpretation. It's either right or it's not.
Okay, Marty, you're fucked.
Yeah, I know. I already knew that.
You got to give the right answer, man.
Yeah, I don't think there's any like, oh, well, you're sort of right. I think the way that I put these together, you're either right or you're not.
Okay. All right, Age. All right, I got to speed up a little bit because I feel like I'm slow, doing this way too slow.
Did you order this one, Marty?
Which one is it?
That Pursuit United Double Oak Rye?
No, I didn't get to.
I'll send you a sample. You're gonna like this.
Yeah, that'd be great. That Murray Hill Club special release, it was here about 6 days before Christmas. Wonderful time for that to show up at $200. I went back right after Christmas, and they'd sold the last one like the day before. Nancy did it, and I hate I missed it. I do have a sample, though. Russ gave me a sample of it, so I have had it.
Yeah, I thought it was outstanding. You know what? I don't think it came out at the end of the year. Didn't it come out like kind of like the middle of the year?
It probably did, but that's just when North Carolina got it, I guess.
I don't know when we got it, but it seemed like it really got some traction at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It seemed to be on a lot of people's lists at the end of the year. And I don't think I got to try it until like November or December when Dave sent me that sample. But yeah, that was killer.
Man, it feels like a high rye or something. Man, that could even be a rye too. Shit.
And hey, Dave, if you're listening, when I sent you samples, I think I sent you one that just had my Bourbon Jerk sticker on it. It wasn't labeled. Did you ever get to that one? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious because one of the guys' flights is that whiskey, and I'm curious to know if you got around to it.
Man, I'm gonna definitely have to go back. O is definitely, or whatever this little symbol is. O is definitely the darkest of the bunch. That's for sure.
Yeah, I could see that from here.
Yeah, look at that thing. Wow, you guys can see it. It's dark.
Oh, here you go. I'm not sure what kind of finish I'll be doing for this year's Murray Hill Club Special Release 5. Well, it's cool to know that there's going to be a Special Release 5. That'll be something that I'll look for sure this year. I'm looking around for some interesting but good quality finishing casks.
Man, I just had that pour a couple days ago. My wife and I were out to dinner. I've always said that that's probably a really underrated pour, to be honest. I feel like it just, the cigar blend always kind of overshadows that for whatever reason, but I even like kind of, I don't know, I think I did an Instagram thing or something. Just said, man, this is just a kind of an underrated pour. So
yeah, I agree. It like I said, it did catch some traction at the end of the year, but I'm almost surprised that it wasn't one of the more talked about releases like in the middle of the year when I think it dropped. All right. Yeah, Dave, if you're looking to pour something, that might be a good time to give that one a try. Let's see.
I'm having a hard time on this square, whatever. It's youthful, but I can't. It's.
Oh. Here you go, Sugar Kitty. What does he say?
If Scott P wins anything, I'll donate whatever that is. My wife's at it back there. She's just sending out things. So I'll do if for some reason I win something, I'll donate whatever that is to somebody else. So
appreciate that.
Damn, this is killing me.
Man, I am not getting I'm looking for more proof. I feel like I'm looking for more proof, and maybe it's more proofy than I think it is. But man,
I think I'm doing the opposite, Scott. I think I'm proofing them down on purpose because I've been going way over lately. This thing has a resin kind of nose to it. Oh, mentholy.
That's got to be. I think Roger's been he's been drinking too much of the Pursuit United rye already. It's affecting him. It's affecting him already.
His judgment's clearly been compromised.
Yeah, it's very compromised at this point. So, boy.
So Scott, are you Wisconsin born and raised?
No, I was born in New York, and I've been all over the place. But with my dad's job and everything, or as he never wanted us to mention, like he just referred to it as job, but it was pretty much witness protection. But let's just call it what it is. So, but every 4 years we had to bounce around somewhere. So I think the NDA is clear, so I can say witness protection at this point. So. Just kidding.
I've been reaching out to him a little bit. We've been working things out, and he's got a plan for me. So,
okay,
yeah,
right.
I'll let you know where I may end up.
Okay, all right.
That was whipping my damn ass.
I don't think I ever saw you mention the Packers or anything. So
no, I'm a Dolphins guy. I used to live down there for a few years, and that was when I started kind of getting into football. I actually was in Tampa at the time, but the Buccaneers were so bad. I'm like, I can't follow these guys. They're horrible. So I like Dan Marino, and I've been in love with a losing franchise ever since. So,
well, hey, welcome to my life. I've been
welcome to our team.
50 years.
Man, could be a ride too, but
what's going on, Ed? How you doing?
Man, is really throwing me for a loop here a little bit. I am trying to figure this thing out, and I can't. It's all over the place, kind of.
I've gone back to my but it's another different.
Honestly, I've been I've been in that 105, no more than 110 proof, all night long. Like nothing feels like it's more than that.
Did you have anything to sit on before you came on?
The only thing I had was Old Forester Signature 100, just to kind of
tone it up, set the tone.
Yeah, just to kind of see. But I know that feels so maybe, but still, when you start getting above 110, you start to feel that a little bit more, and nothing is jumping out to me. Unless some of these are just drinking a little bit softer than they are. I'll go back through here.
Just wait till you stand up. You'll know.
Wait till I stand up. That's the true test, right? All right, let me go back through here. Yeah, O is the one that's probably tripping me up the most a little bit. I gotta start kind of figuring out you wanted us to try to put a price on this as well a little bit.
Yeah, maybe think which one might be the least expensive, the most expensive, that kind of thing. You don't need to guess. Is it $68? Just kind of have an idea in your head.
Okay. Man, what is that?
All right. So Travis says, I got a chance to sample the Tanager. Outstanding, and thank you for it. Do you know if any of your special selected single barrels will come to Tennessee? We did a Texas tournament trying to find the best Texas whiskey, and we ended up landing on a Still Austin Nancy pick. I don't know if it was the 23 or the 22, but that one out of, I think it was about 20 blind samples. Did you get a chance to try the Tanager, Scott?
I did, and it was so unique. But man, what a delicious bottle! That's definitely one for the people who were able to get one. Man, was that a fun pour to kind of just sit down with. So really, really nice.
Yeah, definitely one of the more unique whiskeys I tried all of last year, and definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah. I think that's kind of interesting with all of them involved there and having those kind of some of those ages that were on that to take all of those different things and put all of that together. I'm sure that was no easy task to put something like that together. So,
well, that whole method that she was talking about, I forget what the heck it was now, Petite O or whatever. The aging of that's there's some kind of science in there. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
wild.
It's a cool way to blend like that stuff. I know I've talked to like some of the Henrys before about that. I know Nancy was involved with Jay Henry as well, and I think they implement kind of the same type of blending from that standpoint. But yeah, it's a very interesting way rather than just I think putting the water in or whatever and getting it to proof like immediately. I think kind of like bringing that to almost like the temperature kind of deal is a really interesting way to do that. So
yeah, I think the way that she described it is she squeezed as much as she possibly could out of that, what she had to work with there. Because I don't think it was terribly aged. I think the oldest stuff was like 6 years, maybe.
I thought they had some older stuff in there. I could be wrong, but
I could be wrong.
Maybe
too.
not. Maybe not. Man, O is really tripping me up. I keep like
I'm
staying on that one. Just
at any.
I'm drinking the heck out of it though, that's for sure. So getting to the point now, like I'm almost gone through this stuff, but
I think some of these might surprise you when we do the reveals here.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Good on that.
All right, let me go back. I'm gonna go back through real quick.
All right. Roger says Teenagers on my wish list. I haven't seen a bad review. And you know what? I think that's a good point. I did see quite a few reviews on that bottle, and you're right. I don't think I saw any that anybody didn't love it. And that's kind of hard to do in this day and age with everybody having their opinions and review channels and stuff like that. There's not too many whiskeys that are universally beloved.
Hey, Tom, I sent you a text. I got behind. It's a picture. I literally got behind this car today, and I had to gas it up there and take a picture of it.
That wasn't Nancy.
I don't guess. Tag just says Tanager.
Yeah, the little square or the little triangles for sure, rye.
When you got that young wood and stuff on these things, man, it's hard to start distinguishing the rye on it for me. Yeah,
one of them. Oh man, it's orangey now. That's different. Man, number 2 or the square is pretty interesting too. This is changing a little bit for me. Yeah, it's like orange chocolate.
So did you make it through all the years yet, Marty? First pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta figure out like what kind of price, like what I would pay for some of these.
That's what I'm doing.
I gotta try to think of like what a reasonable price is, and with it being bourbon, add $40 to it.
I have not been to a store to check out, bourbon or whatever this year. So I'm interested to see if anything's really changed. And it's probably not yet.
Yeah.
But, from all of the headlines, the doom and gloom, I'm curious to see if some of these local shops are still gouging on some of the, harder to find bottle.
The thing is with like I'll say like just whiskey in general, there's always new people coming into it. So there's always this kind of rinse and repeat part of it, so like what we're all used to, somebody else is just getting like what we got like a few years ago or a couple years ago. So, I just think more people are a little bit more educated than a lot of us were when we were paying a lot of big prices, for a lot of those whiskeys. But that was the day and age where, $200-$300 for a bottle was not really totally frowned upon, where now it's like, I mean, honestly, you start to get above that $100 price point and people really, really think twice,
What do I need here? I need something on 1 or O.
There's the license plate that you're talking about.
Yeah, literally on my way home from work, that was in front of me.
Tanager, nice. What does it actually mean? Oh no, Rod. If I could ban Roger from the chat right now, I would. There's not 1 ounce of me that wants anything to do with Ohio State. That's for sure. So I don't think so. Oh,
I think Roger's the Ohio guy.
He is the Ohio guy.
Raj.
Yeah.
Cheers, Jeff.
The Perkins.
My square and my O, they're all over the place.
Jeff's picture, his little picture looks like he's got school picture day, but he's got to sell an 84 Cutlass at 3:00. A used car salesman.
All right, what do we got here?
Or maybe it looks like he's like from the Anchor Man. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, I'll do the same. I don't know if Tyler got it. I put money in, but I might have done the damn thing and sent it to the wrong account again, Tom.
I got a special rules just for Marty.
Yeah.
You need to give Marty like a key to like put in your like last four like
your phone number. So and I had to enter it
in the right place. Jeez.
Gin and whiskey, cheers.
Actually, what you need to get from Marty is just straight cash. Like you just need straight cash.
An envelope with a birthday card.
What's going on, John? John's going to be on in a few weeks. Gentleman and Whiskey.
And Whiskey.
Another smaller channel. If you're not familiar with him, check him out. He's got good content. Good dude.
I'll have to give him a check.
And then we've got Dante, Detroit City Distillery, the man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Detroit City.
I actually think one of these might be his.
It could be.
Man, I don't think I've had anything before, so that would be new to me.
Yeah,
man, look at everybody representing in here tonight. Tom, Dante, jeez, Nancy Fraley. Jeez.
Yeah, we had
the only people I get in my chat are guys like Marty and things like that. I don't get any celebrities.
Well,
definitely not checking out what I'm in for. Okay, well, stay tuned, John. It should be interesting for you.
You got to narrow it down, Marty?
I mean, I've just got my guesses. You know, I've done terrible on guessing finished or non-finished. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, a little
you always say that, Marty. Then I watch you do one of these, and you're always spot on. So you're
I don't have a bit of confidence. I've got one that I think I know exactly what it is, but that's it. Everything else is a crapshoot. And I'm probably not even close on the one I think.
Man, this O that I've got has a really nice barrel note. Like there's not just oak, but it's like literally like a barrel note. Like it feels like this could be like someone's pick or something, because there's a barrel note that feels like it's a single barrel of some sort for me.
Let me go back to that one. I think the triangle one is my favorite so far.
Triangle, okay.
Okay. Hey Gary, I'm still waiting on my pick. I was just saying to Scott, I know that one's coming through Seal Box. This one came like right away, and for some reason I'm still I don't know what the turnaround is on that particular pick, but this is the Hard Truth pick that Gary did with Dusty Dan and Jeff and the Whiskey Friends, and I don't know if anyone else, the Turks were in on that one too, I think, right?
Your stuff, Tom, your stuff's probably at Gary's house. He just kept it.
Hey Scott, what's that video you just dropped? I can't see it. What's the title?
I can't tell you. It's a teaser.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Watch it later.
Well, no, I will. I just want
in its entirety. Don't cut out after 4 minutes. Just watch it in its entirety.
God, that means I really got.
You know what? I was looking at videos today, and I thought this was interesting, and it's a bigger channel that I've followed for a long time, but maybe I haven't followed it closely enough lately. But Whiskey Row is now just the Row, and like the last, I think 3 or 4 videos I've seen that have nothing to do with whiskey. Is he kind of like branching
Well,
off?
there's 2 different channels.
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have Whiskey Row, and then behind the row, I think is.
Well,
I think
Jamie was doing
Jamie's had
something
her
for a
own
little
channel,
while.
but I think she folded it into David's.
I don't think Jamie's doing. I
I
don't think Jamie's doing her stuff anymore. I think it's just like those two doing kind of Whiskey Row, and then there's a spin-off thing, I think. But maybe.
don't know.
I clicked on it, and he's got like 40,000-50,000 subscribers. So I think it's his main channel. I think it's just called The Row. If anyone else in chat might know, chime in. I don't know too much about it, but I do know the first the first, not the first, but the last maybe 3 or 4 videos he's posted have nothing to do with whiskey. I think today the one he posted was like best things on Amazon or something like that.
Yeah, for 2024 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
What's up, David?
DMC, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for stopping in. Gary said, I'm waiting for it as well. Okay. Heard it was on its way to Seal Box. So Gary's you're probably in the same boat as I am. You got to, just wait for them to decide to, ship on our own label.
Let me figure this out. All right, I'm going to say.
There you go, Tom.
Okay.
Tell you what, this Foundation double barrel is actually really good.
Yeah, I've got one too. I'm interested to kind of compare it to their kind of regular 5-year. That little 5-year, that's an underrated little 5-year bourbon, I'll tell you.
For sure. Yeah, it was definitely one of the better, $50-ish bottles I got all of last year.
Couldn't agree more.
I like that they, because everything else that they put out up to that point was like $80-$90.
Well, the thing is, it's confusing because it says 5, but when you look at the back of the bottle, I mean, they've got like 8, 9, 10-year-old stuff that's in there. So they've got some nice aged whiskey in these things. So, and I mean, what they do best is blend. I mean, that is what they do. So
yeah. So this one, geez, I need to have my readers down here. This has 8-year, 5, 6, and 8-year. 8-year and 5 and 6 years. So they got the 5-year age statement, but Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, and Maryland. So it's got all kinds of stuff in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can blend. And I like the fact that they're putting something out that's, a little bit more, I guess you could say entry level, but $55 is kind of somewhere in the middle. 100 studs.
Can you find barrel in your area?
Barrels all over the place here for sure.
Yeah.
Here too. Here. Yeah, but I mean, I think the last barrel number we've got released is like that's on the shelf here is like 33, 34.
I think those are the newer ones.
37, 36,
37. 35 or 36.
Oh, I don't know if they're that high. I think they just, I don't know. I thought they just did 36 last year. Trevor, I think, did a video on it and it was real good.
Yeah, I think some of the blends, like the Dovetail is one of my favorites. Seagrass is one of my favorites. I'm not the biggest fan of that Vantage, but it's decent.
Oh, yeah.
What's that one me and you had, Scott? I about drank all of it. It's the peat barrel finish, smoky one. You remember that one?
A peat barrel, man. That's not the.
I thought you had it and said it was okay.
No,
for not liking Scotch.
I probably wouldn't. I've never had that. Never had it. I love seagrass. I like seagrass a lot.
Well, they did one that was like a blend of like an Isla finish and
it was.
Oh yeah. That was the that was the man.
Tale of Two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I never tried that one, but it sounded interesting.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it actually wasn't too bad. So
36 at the new bit, yeah.
But yeah, the prices on all of those, the numbered batches and the finished stuff, they're all like $80-$90 here, and they're all cask strength. So I thought it was real smart of them to put something out a little lower proof, a little less expensive, maybe grab another segment of the market. He ended up
Hey,
with barrel strength.
Scott, have you talked to Bill on Foregate dropping their lower price releases? Has he said anything?
No, I've not talked to him about that. So I think they're going to start ramping things up. So I was just talking with Chris Luddig the other night, and it sounds like they're about ready to start kind of ramping things back up a little bit. So I don't know how much or what they're going to do, but
Okay.
yeah, they're in that's a tough category to be in right now.
With the ultra premium, or
Yeah,
is that what you would call it?
Yeah, I would just I mean, I think it's just that other level of what people are kind of struggling to pay for whiskey right now, unfortunately. So
I agree with that.
What's up, Top Dog? You know, I did get a sample of the Foregate. I think it was the Kelvin 60.
yeah.
From Dave Vogelsang, and yeah, that was killer.
The Kelvin 60, it's one of my favorite things that they've done, which honestly is not much. I mean, it's just double barreled bourbon, but man, was that stuff good. Fantastic.
Was that the one that was said to be Four Roses, maybe?
Yeah, it rhymes with Schmorschmoses.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, one of the better pours I had. But yeah, here I guess where I struggle is it that much better than something that I can find for 110 or 130? You know what I mean? I mean that 200 marker is
yeah,
it's steep.
Yeah, it really is. Man, I can't wait to find out what Triangle and O are. Honestly, I can't wait to find out what all of them are. They're like very different, and going back and forth, like they just keep changing a little bit. I'm sure each one's kind of influencing the other a little bit at this point, but
yeah, they might be melding into each other. So
little
Dante says the 39 to 59 market will be the sweet spot this year for consumers considering the economy. It's probably a pretty good prediction. I mean, I think that $60 spot, that seems to be a sweet spot, at least for me. If I see something new that I haven't heard of and it's $60, okay, I could swing that. It's when it's something that's brand new I haven't tried or heard of, and it's 99 that I get a little gun shy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The one thing for me, I would say with whiskey and and doing stuff obviously with the club and everything, like you have to at least offer something that's going to have, I'll say, some uniqueness to it. Like, and if you're going to charge, I'm just going to say $100, okay, just give or take, but you can't have something that's going to be like, some people want to release like a 95 proof, like for $100, that's 6 years old. Like,
right.
That's just not going to fly right now. Like, people are too educated. They know they can go somewhere else and get something different for that kind of price, So if you're that's why for me, the OGD like 16, like it's not a bad whiskey. Like, it's a nice little whiskey, but it's not a $200 one. It's $200 because it's 16-year-old whiskey. That's why it's older. So we're paying for the age, but it's proof down to 100. Would we like, 10 or maybe 15 proof points higher? Yeah, but that would then not be $200. I'm sure Beam would throw another 80 or $100 on there. Now it's $300. So
I was watching, I think it was Jeff's video the other day, and he was talking about the OGD, and I think he's mentioning that he was seeing it for closer to 160.
Yeah, 150, 160.
Even a hair less. And you know what? I think, yeah. I mean, it probably tastes a lot better at 140 than it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and here's what I would say about that. Like, if something didn't work out for Beam and they realized that they had overpriced that thing, I mean, that's kind of like, shame on them. Like, that's kind of a big miss. Like, I mean, if they're having a hard time selling that, which I'm sure they were at whatever it was. What did we pay for those, Marty? 180, 190, 200 bucks?
It was 200 bucks.
That's a tough pill to swallow, like for 100 proof like whiskey, because you can generally speaking, you can only get so much from that, right? I mean, they need the age on a whiskey like that just for us to get a little bit of something out of that thing. So, I don't know. That's where I struggled with it. It was probably my most disappointing whiskey all year because of other factors, not because of how it tasted, just because of how it really all just kind of played out.
Yeah,
So,
it tasted fine. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it ain't a $200 bottle.
No, if you gave that to people in honesty, they would just say, it's probably between like, 50 and $60, maybe something like that. So
you know what?
It's
when
tough.
I picked that bottle up, it was the day that it came out, and I did not even look at it real close. So it was early in the morning. I would say it was before, when they first opened. Beam, we went that day, and I'm looking at all the bottles they had out, and they had like everything that they carry. They had all of their good stuff. I'm looking at like the Booker's Reserve, the little book, or whatever, the Infinity, Baker's 13. They had all their big hitters out on the shelf, and I'm trying to figure out, well, geez, which one of these do I want? And I'm standing there, looking, I'm looking, and the guy comes up and he says, "Are you looking for the OGD 16 that just came out today?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the one." I didn't even know it was coming out.
Yeah.
And I didn't look at it. I'm like, "Oh wow, this looks great," And then I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it. And I'm like, wow, this is only 100 proof. I did not even look at any of that until after I bought it.
Yeah.
And it was the most expensive of all the ones you named right there.
Yeah. But they were all pretty close.
The reserves was way better. Like reserves was really good. The little book was okay. The what was I thinking of? The Baker 13. It was good. It was good.
I've got it. I didn't like it. I didn't. Well, it's single barrel. So
yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was good. But again, like when you start to like put all these prices and stuff together, it gets to be a little bit difficult sometimes with things. So
yeah, I think in retrospect, I wish I would have grabbed that Booker's Reserve instead. But oh well,
it was the best of the entire bunch for me by far.
All right, so you guys work your way through the samples, and you're pretty comfortable where you're at.
No, I'm nowhere near comfortable, but I have worked my way through them.
We've worked our way through, and this is what we got.
Yeah, so. I don't. If I score a point, I'll be lucky.
You're gonna do just fine. I just don't know what a good score is going to be. We'll find out.
Scott, your box will be there tomorrow.
Oh, okay. All right. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to it.
So let's kick this off. So I'm gonna ask you guys the same question, and we've got a total of 10. Okay. So a perfect score is 10. First question is, which of the samples is the highest proof? And so Scott, you'll have an answer, and Marty, you'll have an answer. And I don't know. Why don't we start with you, Scott?
The highest proof. Oh man, I've got them written down. I guess based on my notes, I'm gonna say triangle. The triangle I have is the highest proof.
Richie. So you're gonna go with triangle as the highest proof. All right,
I'm gonna go with triangle.
All right, and then Marty, how about you? What's your guess on your highest proof?
Damn, it's either O or triangle. I'm gonna go triangle. I sipped it the most. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I got you guys both locked in as triangle for your answer to number 1. All right, so second question is, which of the samples is the lowest proof?
Is the lowest?
Lowest.
Square.
Lowest.
What's going on? Giselle's Boston. John. So Marty, did you put your guess in there?
Square.
Square is your guess. Gotcha. Okay.
Did y'all see that?
That's interesting. I'm gonna say square too. Square for me is the lowest proof.
All right.
Did y'all see that guy that was on TikTok that used to make those videos It's kind of cool story. He immigrant, just didn't, very, very low income family. And he used to make these videos where people would do something stupid. And then after it was over, he'd be sitting there kind of looking at the camera and kind of have something on that was part of that little clip. But he never said a word. He never spoke. And when TikTok, did you see that, Tom? That
I did.
He got
somebody that posts a
22
clip on
million.
how some dumb hack, and then he'll show at the end no, here's how you do it.
Yeah, really, they're working real hard to accomplish something, and then he'll show you the real simple way to just do it like that. Yeah, that's what he would do. But he ended up making like $20 million.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he's the biggest. I think he's got like 150 million followers or something.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord!
All right, sorry, I just threw that in for shits and gigs.
But I did see that. I don't know what I was watching, but I saw that today.
I saw it on, I think, Instagram or something popped up.
I think Marty's just trying to throw me off here, trying to keep me off.
We give the same answer, so.
Okay, so I did tell you guys.
I sure hope we have the same. I sure hope we have the same thing. I think Tom's just like messing with us. We just have the same exact thing. So.
All right. So on to question number 3, Scott. Which of the samples is a finished whiskey?
I'm gonna say square. I'm gonna say square.
All right.
Damn, it's cinnamon as hell.
And Marty, same question for you. Which one is it finished?
0 circle.
All right. Okay. All right, Scott. Which of your samples is a bourbon?
I think. Let's see. I have. Oh. Yeah, I got nothing left. I'll say X.
Go ahead and make that 2 of us.
All right.
I think I can bottle call X.
Really?
We'll see in a minute.
I would be amazed if you did, but we come back to that, Marty.
Okay, then I can't.
Never mind. I take that back.
It won't be the first time you've amazed me. So hey,
I ain't nowhere close.
Let's not sell you short. All right. So number 5, question 5, Scott. Which of your samples is a rye?
Triangle.
Damn. I think I got 2 that are rye.
What'd you say, Marty?
So I'm between 2 of them now.
Well, there could be more than one right answer.
Man.
I'm gonna say circle.
Well, clearly these were all good because I've got nothing left anymore, hardly. So
yeah, I've got just a shade of X left.
I'm wiped out.
All right, Scott, back to you. Which of these? Let me see. Which of these has the highest age statement?
God,
man, highest age statement.
What's going on, Josh Fritz?
Fritzy.
I'm gonna go with O just because of the notes and stuff that I was getting, but I think maybe O has the highest age statement.
All right. Same question to you, Marty.
Triangle.
All right. All right. So here's an interesting one, Scott. Which of your samples has the highest MSRP? Which of those tasted like the most expensive whiskey?
I'm gonna go with O again.
Okay. And Marty, how about you?
Damn. You know what? I think I'm wrong on one, but I'm gonna say X.
And I'm very close like on dollars, and I'm very close on proof like on all of them. So
Yeah, me too.
All right.
But
Well,
I've got one, Scott. I've got one that stands out, I think. Do you have one that just jumps out like this is killer? Like this is the one
I'll tell you what, Scott. To your comment, this isn't going to be a situation where one is like 124 and the other one is like 123.9 or something. There's a pretty good gap.
really,
Yeah.
wow.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm with you, Scott.
Man, I'm like they all feel like very, very similar to me. So
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting there. Scott, which of these has the lowest MSRP? Which is the cheapest?
I'm gonna go with I guess based on my numbers, I got two with the same exact dollar amount. I'll go with Triangle. It's the one I have written down as the lowest dollar one. Triangle.
All right. Same question to you, Marty. Which is
Square,
the least expensive? Which is the lowest MSRP?
Square.
All right. Okay, Scott, which of these was distilled in Kentucky?
Jesus.
Oh man, distilled in Kentucky.
Poor Scott doesn't have any lefties like me.
I can't even go back to anything anymore. I've got to go like off of memory at this point.
I know what I'll pick.
Man, I'm gonna go with O. Like O is the one that feels like more like kind of tried and true, I think, of all of them. But
Yeah, so everybody watching, when he says O and I say O, we don't have the same O's. These are completely different. Yeah, so.
All right, so Marty, how about you? You got a guess on which one of you?
Yeah, I think X, maybe.
Man, that's a good one. I just went back to it. Like I could switch to X. Like honestly, I'm considering like X, honestly.
I'll just tell you, I thought my X was the 70th anniversary bottle.
Really? Okay. You know what? I'm gonna switch mine to X. Can I switch back? Like I honestly think X is probably more. I get this core note from it that feels more Kentucky-ish.
You want me to change your answer to X?
Marty, we have the same exact whiskeys, don't we?
I believe so. Probably.
I think we have the same whiskeys.
All right. Well, I see JG followed you here to bust your balls.
Hey, can you both like love somebody and hate somebody at the same exact time? That's our relationship right there.
Yeah.
I'll hand it to JG. He's consistent.
He is very consistent. Yeah. He's the biggest, nicest a-hole I know, that's for sure.
All right. So the 10th question, final question, is actually different for each of you.
Wow.
Lately. So Scott, my question for you is, which of these was distilled in Indiana?
Boy, distilled in Indiana.
Well, mine's different, so I don't even need to try. Shit.
We got about 32 in chat, so thanks for coming in and hanging out with us on a Thursday night, everybody. Hopefully you're having something good in the glass and you're entertained somewhat by us three idiots here.
That doesn't feel. Oh man, is that it? Man, I'll go with Square.
All right. So we got you locked in with Square. All right, Marty, final question for you is, which of your samples is distilled in Michigan?
Oh man, now I think Square is. Square is Michigan.
Man, I think Triangle.
All right. Okay, so let me kind of look at my key here, tally things up, and I'll show you what you guys were drinking here in just a second.
Yeah. If anybody could poop the bed, it's me.
No, I'm with dude. I got zero confidence in any of this. None.
Yeah.
But I do know what's cool though. Like if this was a pick, I know which one I like the best.
Okay. Which one
Yeah,
is
there's-
that, Mark?
It's a triangle.
I'm kind of between two of them, honestly. I'm between O and square. And like the more like I figured there'd be a Michigan one in here, and I think I made the wrong decision. I think I chose the wrong Michigan one, to be honest. There's one that feels malty,
I
like it
think
feels like it could be some
Triangle's
dragon
Dante.
milk thing. This might be the first live stream where two people, or at least one of us, gets negative points.
No, I think we're both.
You can't get it negative. So you don't get any any pushback for a wrong guess. You either get the point or you don't. All right, so I have one of you with 3 and one of you with 6. And before I tell you which is which,
Well, at least we're in the positive,
let's go
Scott.
through what you were drinking. Let's start with Scott's Flight.
Okay. Man, if triangle is not a rye, like I'll be absolutely amazed.
All right, so Scott's Flight. Go in order here. So Scott X was
X.
Penelope 9-year.
X. Penelope. Okay. All right. So I do have that as a
unfinished
bourbon.
Bourbon from Indiana at what, about 109 proof. Then
I
your
had,
O.
I had 105 proof on that.
That's pretty close. O for you was the new riff, sherry finish malted rye.
O for me was?
Yes. The really dark one.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Sherry. All right.
Yeah, that was the one that's like 10 times darker than anything else.
Okay. All right.
Square for you was Bull Run, 16-year with the Pinot Noir finish. So that's an American whiskey. I think that's from Oregon.
Oh, I had American whiskey written down, but I mean, I was getting like a lot of orange.
You were all over that with the notes as you were going through it. And then the last one for you was this Mayor Pingree 7-year rye, 130 proof. So this was the one that
was triangle.
Yes, that was triangle.
That was a rye.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
unfinished rye. That's distilled in Michigan.
And what was the proof?
130.1.
Really?
Yeah. So
I
what was
had, like,
interesting is when I was looking back at these, I was looking back at the proofs and I was like, the lightest one is 109, then 111, then 120 and 130. So there was nothing.
Oh my
here that was
Lord.
really-
I had on that one between 105 and 107, and I put 110 with a question mark. Like maybe it was going to go up to 110. 130?
Yeah,
Wow.
130. And I know I've given that one to Marty before.
Wow.
That's one of my favorite single barrel rye.
Man, that's crazy.
So which of the ones did you say was your favorite of the bunch?
I had which ones did I had as my two favorite? I had Square and O.
So the Bull Run, yeah, this was the pick. Nerds and Turds. I don't remember if this was last year or the year before, but it was like $50 bottle.
Really? All right.
Yeah, it's really good.
I had $80 written down. So
yeah, I think it was 50. The most expensive one out of yours, I think, was the Penelope at about $90. This was 50. This was like 70. This was, I think, 65 or 70.
okay.
All right. So knowing what these are now, how do you think you did?
Not very well.
I'll tell you what, when you switched your answer at the end, you switched it from the right answer to the wrong.
We're notorious for
I
that.
should have stopped you. You.
Oh well.
All right. So Marty, let's get yours up here. Make some room. Do you want to give me a guess on that one that you were gonna headshot on the bottle?
Well, I was until I changed my mind. I thought it was a little Jimmy Russell 70th on X. A little turkey action for me
X?
for some reason.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so X for you. This is a Heaven Hill Select stock.
That makes fucking sense.
Finished in Armagnac barrels. It's 7 to 12-year-old whiskey, and then aged for 4 years in Armagnac barrels. So it's got a.
What did you say? It was a turkey product?
Yeah, I did. I said that's got turkey written all over it.
Yeah. Blinds will just make us look like idiots, doesn't it? It's just like
What's the year of that one, Tom? Of the Heaven Hill?
What year?
Yeah, 7-8 statement.
Yeah, it's a blend of 7 and 12, so I guess technically it'd be a 7-year.
I had 8 written down. So, what's proof?
Proof is 100 on the nose.
That's what I put. 100.
All right, then O for you, Marty, was High Bank
Whiskey War.
Whiskey War. This is their barrel proof, 115 proof.
Is that a rye?
No, it's an unfinished bourbon.
Shit. I had it as finished too.
You know what? It's taste. It's got like a funky profile to it. I might have guessed that too. It doesn't taste so much like a bourbon to me for some reason. All right, and then Square for you, probably something you never heard of. It says Mammoth Distilling.
I've heard of Mammoth
in Michigan. This is their Woolly Rye, 92 proof, unfinished rye. I think this is like their flagship rye.
Well, I didn't have that one right for Michigan.
And then the last one for you, which was Triangle. I think Scott mentioned this, but I don't know if you did or not. This is actually the one that's tonight's giveaway. It's the Dragon's Milk Origin small batch. 95 proof, unfinished.
Yeah, they do some pretty cool things.
But that's the one, their small is very fruity. Yep. So it doesn't taste like really anything out there, in my opinion. If anything, it might not identify, but remind me more of like an American single malt.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting.
Spray. So, final score: one of you got 6, one of you got 3, and the winner is Marty, the Whiskey Nose.
Really?
Nice.
I just tried to get it right. I suck at blinds. I can't guess any of these. I'm at a loss.
Good job.
Always.
I'm just glad me and Scott just scored a point. I mean, we were really just struggling.
Man, I was all over. I was all over the place.
One did you have pegged as your favorite of your flight, Marty?
Triangle.
Okay, so the Dragon's Milk Origin. So you like that one? Is that the first time you've ever had that?
I don't know if I've ever had that before. Unless you've sent it to me in something else.
I don't think I did. I tell you what, that unmarked one is a different Dragon's Milk. I think it's a maple finish. Try that when you're just sitting around looking for something.
Okay, sure.
Tell me if you think it's any good. Why I sent it is I think it's really good, and it's actually Tyler said it's the best thing that he's ever tasted. So just curious to get your feedback on that. So let's see.
Which one did I switch? What was the one that I switched on?
You switch. Okay, you went from. It was number 9. I think you had. Which of yours was distilled in Kentucky, and you had it. Or no, I'm sorry. Which one was distilled in Kentucky? Yours was going to be the new riff.
Oh,
yeah. I think the one that you changed, you had guessed the one that was Indiana.
Yeah.
And then you changed.
I can see it now. That's for sure.
But yeah, that new riff, that was the one that's just like black almost with that sherry finish.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I've not had that one either. I'd like to get that. Jeffrey's close. I may have to holler at him. That might be gone though now.
Yeah, those ones were
Yeah, Greg did send me that a year ago.
they were distillery only for that new Rev, and then they released some online. That's when I got it. But I would have liked to have gotten more, but they were gone. So I think it's like one of those annual limited releases. And what they do is when they do their limited releases, obviously they don't charge an exorbitant price. I think it was like $69. So they go pretty fast.
Yeah, it's a good price point these days. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like what they do at New Riff. I mean, the Silver Grove stuff that they put out, it drinks, I think, older and bigger than what it is. And
for the money.
Like it's a $60 bottle.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's different every year, but boy, the Silver Grove Rye and the Silver Grove Bourbon for last year were just outstanding.
Yeah, I think a lot of these places are going to have to somehow get on board with like trying to lower these prices a little bit. They just can't charge, these big prices anymore.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the market adjusts for this year. And what's interesting is, I mean, we're the ones putting out videos. I mean, I didn't put one out, but like Whiskey Tube people putting out the videos. I don't necessarily know that we're the best barometer of the market.
I would agree.
We know what we're looking for. We're more apt to spend for something that we know is going to be limited or sought after, something that we know has a track record or a high likelihood of being something special. Where somebody that's entering the market, I think it's those people that are going to be the ones that are dictating.
I think we're a small minority.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at who does Fireball, is that the
Waste Management?
Waste Management. Which parent company is that one under?
I don't know.
Oh boy,
maybe it was a bad.
I don't. Is it Suntory or?
But that those sell like 10 times more than anything else on the market. I mean,
But again, like
those are the things that drive the profits of some of these bigger.
Sure,
it's not like
Sazerac. Greg said
it's or Sazerac. Yeah, Greg said. Yeah, Greg got it. Sazerac. It's one of those things where that's exactly it. Is that all of these like flavored things pays for a lot of what it is that a lot of us enjoy, like all the turkey stuff, like the honey and all these, the Fireball, all this stuff, like bars buy it. People are doing shots of it. Like that's where the big money is. So,
yeah. So it's, if people stop buying Fireball and start buying more seltzers or whatever the, drink
not
du
gonna
jour
happen.
is, that's what will drive the market more than, Colonel Taylor sales or
you've got too many people that want to party all the time, and like what we do isn't conducive to that. Fireball is. You don't do a lot of the whiskeys we have with shot skis. You have Fireball, right? You have Fireball for that stuff. I mean, that's just the way it is, and it's cheap, and you can make a ton of it. So,
and it's not going to change on the pallets.
No, it's not going to. It's definitely change. Think about it. Did you care? You didn't care about what it tasted like on your palate. Like if you're doing a shot ski, you got a mission, and it's a one-way street, So
that's right.
John, let me make sure that Tyler's got you real quick here. All right, what time do we got here, guys? We got about 8:49. Why don't we cut off the entries at 9, and we'll spin the wheel, give some stuff away, and go about the rest of our night, fellas. What do you say?
Sure. I'm going to check the plumbing real quick.
Check what? Check the plumbing.
Check the plumbing, he says.
Yeah. Selfishly, I wish these were 2 ounces just because I had more. But like if I had 2 ounces, I would definitely have needed some Z-Biotics. That's for sure.
Yeah, especially at the proofs, I think that these were
Man,
well, I guess 2 of them weren't too bad, but that Pingree at 130 will hit you.
that's what Triangle was. Hey,
Yeah.
man, and that's in Indiana rye.
No, the Pingree Valentine Distilling here in Michigan.
Yep.
Some of their stuff is sourced from Indiana,
Okay.
but they also make their own stuff. Some of it's blended with the stuff they make with the MGP.
Okay.
This was a single barrel of their own distillate, and I think it's far and away the best single barrel that they've put out that I've come across, and it's not even close.
It was really, really nice. So I mean, it reeked of rye like immediately. What that mint and chocolate and all of that. It was nice, but man, I would have never have guessed 130 proof. I had between 105 and 107 and maybe 110 with a question mark.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it drinks as hot as its proof. I mean, it does. It feels substantial to me, but it doesn't feel like, oh my God, it's 130 proofer. It's kind of masked a little bit by I think by the spice, maybe a little bit. That's the one where you're talking about immediately. I can't tell if this is really hot or if it's really spicy. And it turns out it's got some heat.
Yeah, it was more spice than it was heat to me. Like I wasn't getting that ethanol heat. So,
and Dave Vogel saying, if you're still in chat, that is the mystery sample that I sent to you. It's that single barrel that we were just talking about. I don't know if you're here, drink it. Let me know what you think. So Marty, what did you think of this Armagnac from Select Stock?
Which one was that?
Select Stock.
Was that the one I said it was not? Was that X?
That was X, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Was that the one that you thought was Wild Turkey?
Yeah.
You thought it was the 70 yet?
The Heaven Hill.
It makes a little bit of sense. I mean, it's
maybe it had the Kentucky
proof, obviously, and I think that Armagnac does give it a little bit of an older feel or an older taste to it, which I think the 70th does. So, I could see where you were going with that. But yeah, you're probably surprised to find out it was finished for 4 years.
That Armagnac always gives that like a little bit of like an earthiness. Like it really starts to bring that. It can really trip up like age, because I think like if you had like a good like cognac or an Armagnac, like you can really trip things up at that point. So yeah,
I agree.
Really?
DMC, did anyone see that Barnes is releasing a cognac?
No, I didn't. That's interesting.
I did see that. I think I just saw that today, maybe.
Man, I didn't see that. That'll be interesting to. Who's gonna get that thing though?
They don't do a lot of finishes, do they?
No, like almost none. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like
a brand that I go for very frequently either.
That thing tastes hotter than that, though.
You think?
Yeah, it's spicy.
Is it hot or spicy? Is it which one is it?
It's just damn, you can't tell.
I don't think it's
all over the place. I've got it.
I haven't had this one in a minute.
Man, I love a cognac finish, but I'll tell you, there's not many people that do it very well at all.
Hard Truth's got a killer one out now.
We're on the search, so we're working on actually getting back down to a Hard Truth. So I hope that's on the table. I'm gonna fight like hell.
See, the Hard Truth ones that sound interesting to me are the ones that were like the caramel malt, the chocolate malt.
Yep.
Somebody had that Distillers Select when we were down in Bardstown, and that was a really good pour.
I'll tell you what, Hard Truth for like those ages not being like a lot of like older whiskey, like at all in terms of like what we think of as older whiskey. I mean, they may be doing like the best of just about anybody producing whiskeys at those ages for those flavors.
A lot of 2 and 3.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, maybe maybe we're getting into that 3-4 like ish range, but not much older than that. I mean, it's a really, really damn good whiskey.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Chris and Brian and Chris and all those guys that are, part of that tasting team. And I know Brian Smith and Chris and all those guys that are really, really doing everything. They do an absolutely amazing job. So
have you guys been down there, Scott?
we're going hopefully pretty soon. So we just reached out to them not long ago about doing another pick, and we're working on some dates right now. So
you've been down there before? You're just looking to get back? I don't think we might.
Yeah, I've been before. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Because that of all the places that I see people go and do picks, that one looks like it might be the most fun. You see them roll up in the ATV, and they're given a tour of the grounds. It looks like the facility is absolutely beautiful, top notch.
Yeah, that whole place, they have like a great, once they start doing like music and everything, they have this like kind of cool amphitheater. I mean, it's just the whole place is fantastic. That's for sure. So anybody who's never been, I think it's definitely should be a destination place. So
yeah.
So like with like Dante and like everything he's got going on, do they do like single barrel stuff or what?
He can answer that if he's still here, but I can tell you that they do single barrels with some of the local stores.
Okay.
So I've got a few on the shelf here.
Okay.
They've got some interesting stuff. I think my favorite product that they put out is a honey finished bourbon. And they actually have it at 100 proof as like a batch product, and then they have single barrels of it to some of the local stores, and the flavor profiles are vastly different. The lower proof one is like a real creamy, like vanilla honey, and that's the one that's my favorite. And then the single barrels bring up the proof to like 115, 116, and it's almost like a bee sting if you like hot honey profile. It's like honey, and
that's what they ought to call it, the bee sting.
Yeah. Well, we're always
why that comes to mind is I think there's like maybe like a Hungry Howie's pizza that they do like that hot honey and they call it a bee sting or something like that. But, it's more aggressive and it's a completely different animal than the 100 proofer, and they're both very interesting products.
The stinger.
I'd like to connect with Dante just to like see if like about doing something maybe for the club if that would like work. Like I think that's the fun part, is doing some things that are different, so not stuff that everybody gets. So
yeah, and that's why I think that the M&J group is probably the best group to be a part of, because not only do you guys do great picks, but it's just the sheer quantity. There's something in there for everybody.
Yeah.
We're doing a 2025 single barrel honey bourbon in April.
Oh, April.
Dante can answer. Maybe I asked him this, but when we did the stream, but do you do picks for groups as well, Dante, or just the local stores?
I think he said yes. I think he said yes before. Like when I said that, I think that's what that was. But
yeah, he says yes right there.
Okay.
Scott on Instagram, follow Dante. He's Whiskey McDago, and he's always out there hustling. He's always at the local stores, promoting the stores, the products, the things that they're doing. He's one of the hardest working guys in the business.
Can I just give him my email?
Yeah, go for it. I'd be happy to put you in touch with him as well. If
that's fine too. Let's just do that. That's fine.
Sure. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get you guys in touch.
Yeah, that works. Sure. It'd be worth.
Hey, Dante, you said something about a sherry finish. Will that be a sherry finished rye?
That could be interesting.
I think I sent you that one, Marty.
You did. Was it last weekend? I blistered those. I was texting you and everything. It might have been it was during
was it during the Lions game?
It was during the Lions game.
Oh man, yeah. Hey, you probably forgot about that by
I've got notes in my book over there.
During the Lions game, Tom was probably sipping on tears at that point.
We were doing fireball.
now. They fan is short for fanatic, and
I hear you.
it was brutal. Again, I've been a Lions fan for 50 years, and I swear this whole year I felt like this is it. This is the year. I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen, and just every week we're still losing guys, but we're still winning. And I'm like, it's destiny. It's going to happen. And then when it didn't, it's just like it was crushing.
Yeah. That was tough. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, that was.
He looked like a damn JV quarterback playing.
That was a tough ball game to watch. That's for sure. So I mean, that was clearly high hopes going in. I mean, they should have on paper won that football game, but man. At the end of the day, like it really would have been nice to have seen, Detroit would have been cool to see in the Super Bowl. Like if I could give 0 Fs about like this Super Bowl, I couldn't give less. Like I don't care about Kansas City. I don't care about Philadelphia,
No.
Cheers, Eric.
I'm over Kansas City. I hate the Eagles. I always, this. Growing up a Lions fan, I don't know how to explain it, but there's certain teams I hate. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I hate the Green Bay Packers. I don't like the Eagles. There's some guys that are whiskey tubers that are Eagles fans. John from Gentleman and Whiskey, Chris from Bourbon of the Week. So good for them. You've got to experience a Super Bowl win in your lifetime, and I hope that it's something that I get to experience.
Yeah. I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. So it's I feel it's just like Kansas City and Philadelphia. It's like,
come on,
my God. I mean, it's like Jesus. Like,
all right, so we've got just after 9 o'clock. Why don't we check in with Tyler here, and why don't we get our wheels going, give away some stuff? Ty, you hear me, buddy? All right. Why don't you get a wheel on the screen?
We all need a Tyler in our life. That's for sure.
No kidding.
So. Scott, since the last time we talked, we did your stream. I think it was like last March or April, and we talked about my son. Since then, he's transferred into one of the local universities, so he's focused on the film classes and the photography classes. So he's upping his game as we speak, and he's also working on another YouTube channel with one of his buddies who does something with aquariums. So
that's good for him.
He's got things going on. All right, so we got the wheel. Tyler, why don't you hit randomize or shuffle a couple of times? All right. What'd you do? Yeah. 2 or 3? All right.
Marty, where do we get a Tyler? Where do we get one of these?
No kidding. My daughter can, but she's in Mississippi, so that's
I'm not to recruit my wife, who knows nothing about any of this. So
JG says doesn't see his name.
Tyler, you got JG on there?
We can add him.
He probably just told you paid and didn't pay.
No, I think as I clicked over to my email, I think I saw him enter at the end.
He probably sent a donation to his OnlyFans page. That's probably where he sent it.
Only feet.
That's what he did. He sent it to the wrong account.
Tyler, is JG in there?
Yeah, he added him.
He should just be disqualified.
And you got Jonathan Ashbridge, Giselle's.
Good old Jonathan.
Yeah, he's on there.
I assure you he's on top of it. He's going off the names that are attached to your either your PayPal or your Venmo, so it might not match up to your screen name here, but he's on top of it. All right, why don't we give a bottle away? So go ahead and spin it up, Tyler. Let's see who's going to win the Dragon's Milk Origin. All right, so Scott, what do
Man,
you
oh
want to
man,
do?
oh man, do I keep
somebody.
the do I keep now spin it again? I'm happy to give that to somebody else. Happy to give that to someone else.
All right.
As long as it doesn't rhyme with
As long as it's
JG.
not JG.
Miles.
What do we got?
There you go,
Miles
Miles.
B.
There you go, Miles. You're welcome.
All right, so Miles, I don't know that I recognize your name. At least it doesn't match up with the screen name I recognize right away. So do me a favor, email me at thebourbonjerk@gmail. Get me your contact information, and we'll make sure that this gets hand delivered to you, sir. And congrats. All right, so why don't we do another one here? And this is going to be for a flight. And what we'll do is we had eight bottles here that or 8 samples that we had between Scott and Marty. We'll do a flight. I'll tell you what they all are. You can pick 5 of them. I'll put them together and I'll send them your way.
I see the real franchise is in here. Hi, Marine.
Yeah. Marine's going to be the taste tester if they do a Detroit
sure.
pick.
For sure.
How you doing, Maureen?
I'd like to get over to Detroit.
You drove from Wisconsin to Evernorth, didn't you?
Yeah, no problem.
How long of a drive was that?
I don't know. Like, I mean, my threshold's probably at this point for like driving anywhere from like 8 to 10 hours. Like 10 hours is probably more than I want to do, but like 8 hours, I'll drive 8 hours somewhere. I don't think it was that far, but it was probably close.
I was looking at that. I was like, man, that's impressive. I could do about 6 in a day.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah. Eight is about as much as I want to do, but I could do 10 if I really wanted to.
All right. Tyler, get your spin, buddy. Or did you spin it, or is that okay? Here we go.
Here we go.
Yo. Oh,
yeah, it looks like it's right on the line.
Snuck in there. Wow. How do they decide that? That looks like a
photo finish.
That's a tough call right there.
If I'm eyeballing it, it looks like it's right on the line. So we'll just have to trust.
That's almost like is it an offensive foul or defensive foul? I don't know. Man. Jeez.
All right. Well, cheers, Ed. I got your contact information, and if you want to jump the gun, just send me your if you can see all of these at this point, or if you were paying attention, scoring at home, send me the 5 that you want. Otherwise, I'll just send you an email with the 8, and you tell me which ones you want. All right, we'll do one more, and this is going to be for a Bourbon Jerk Glen, courtesy of our friend Top Dog, who put these together.
Peter.
Another photo finish.
Man, there's a lot of close ones.
Yeah. All right. Well, Peter F, same idea. Send me your contact information, thebourbonjerk@gmail.com, and I will get a Glen sent out to you, my friend. Thanks for getting in. Thanks to everybody for sticking around with us. This was kind of an interesting way to put together a game. Maybe it was a little slow because you're drinking different things in a random order. Maybe something I can work on a little bit, but
I thought it was great. I enjoyed the new concept, man.
Yeah, it was fun. Definitely fun.
It's like playing the golf course, not somebody else.
Yeah, good blinds are always fun. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There we go. And hopefully, you got to taste something that was maybe a little bit different, maybe a little bit interesting, and you had fun hanging out. I certainly had fun hanging out with you guys.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. Always.
All right. Well, anything coming up you want to talk about, Scott?
I just released a video tonight. Hopefully everybody will check that out. I think it's interesting. I think the cool part about tonight's video will be what the whiskey is, and I'll be interested to see or hear people's like kind of perception of what that is and their thoughts on that. I'll leave it at that. So
all right. Well, I'm definitely going to check it out when I sign off. Marty, anything big coming up?
Todd Ritter's coming on Tuesday. We've been trying to hook up for the last couple months. So he's gonna make some time, which is great. I got a blind from him. Then I guess Tuesday night I'll be with Scott later Tuesday night with a blind I sent him.
Awesome.
I'm sure I'll mess that up big time.
No, you won't. You already know they're all rise. So
That's true.
yeah,
That's true. I got one. I got one
guess out of it. Yeah, thank you, Tyler.
All right. Well, guys, again, I appreciate you coming on, joining me and having a little bit of fun here tonight.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having us.
Always good to hang out with you guys. To everybody that watched, I appreciate you joining in. Until next time, cheers. Stay jerky.
Cheers, guys.
See you guys.